Hey guys, this is me, Minecrafter Joe, and behind me I have 10 hidden entrances that I would like to show you today. While they may look like just a bunch of unsuspecting rock piles, they are full of ways of getting into one single base that is under the ground down there. But I'm going to go ahead and show you each and every one of these today right now. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into the first one. So each of these little unsuspecting rock piles has a secret entrance or exit associated with it. So the first secret entrance I'm going to show you right here is a pretty common one that a lot of people have used before, but basically it's just this button here, and all you have to do is hit it, and zap. Ender Pearl Stasis Chamber teleports you straight in instantly. Very quick, very easy. The only real downside to this is that it does require some Ender Pearls, one Ender Pearl for each time you want to get into your base, and also if you die, the Ender Pearl will despawn. So it's not the best method really, but it does work very, very well, and no one else is going to be able to use this because only the person who threw the Ender Pearl is going to be able to teleport down here. The only kind of funny thing about this is that if someone were to actually come across the button and press it, then you would just teleport instantly from wherever you happen to be into here. Now that we're down here, maybe we want to figure out how to get out. So a lot of videos I've seen on YouTube about secret entrances, they don't ever have any secret exits. So I think a secret exit might be a good idea. So right here we have the scaffolding, and you could use ladders here as well. You can clamber on up here. Right up, and then right here there's a button that you can press and you just pop straight out of the top. Only real downside is that, of course, there's a big obvious trapdoor sitting here that you can also just open and go inside of if you want to. But still, though, I mean, you could hide this away, and it's a pretty good way to get in and out. You could also use an iron trapdoor if you wanted to make it a little bit harder. But that's a pretty easy way to get out. But maybe if we want another way to get in, we could try something like this button right over here. It's another hidden button against a wall like this, but it's simpler than the Ender Pearl Stasis Chamber because all you have to do is hit the button and you just fall straight through the floor and land on your bed. I mean, it's just super simple. It's literally a single piston. That redstone torch has absolutely nothing to do with it. I'm not really sure why I put that there. But as you can see here, if I just tear away some of this stone stuff, you can see it's just super duper simple. It's a redstone torch to invert the signal going to the piston, and I broke the button, but then there's just a button and it just retracts the block, and so you can fall straight down into it. Very, very simple and easy to hide away. So the next one that I want to show you here is actually kind of a funny one, but also I mean, it's also very useful. I mean, it can work, and no one else can come in after you using it. So if we run over to this rock pile, all we have to do is break this, hop down inside, and if we just flip this lever, you can see that we just get repeatedly shot by arrows every time we flip it. And then once we die, then all of our stuff is automatically transported into the storage system. I'm not sure. There's kind of a lot of junk in here. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it come in, but see, there's our iron pickaxe. And so while that is kind of a weird thing, also see the Ender Pearl will despawn if you were to use something like that. And also you'll lose all your levels, but I mean, that is a pretty, I mean, no need to restock any kind of Ender Pearl or anything, and it's pretty much instant. So you see it just has a simple hopper line coming down from the top here with a little dispenser full of arrows that you can just flip and shoot. And there's a little bit of water right here so that if your items drop here, then they'll wash into the hopper even if they don't quite hit where it is. It is slightly expensive though, of course, because it's a long hopper line going all the way down. But I mean, it does work, so there we have it. But now that we're down here again, we probably want another way to get out, and I think this next one's a pretty good one. So if we just run down this little hallway here, then you can see that it's just a wall. But so as you can see here, there's a button on the wall. All we do is hit it, and then we can just run through real quick, pop out of the ocean, out of a very, very secret hidden exit right there. Now I'm going to get night vision so I can kind of show you how this works. So down here, as you can see, you can't tell where it is. It's actually right here is where the secret exit is. It's right here. In fact, I even hit the wrong block to start with there. But it's super duper secret. It's like you cannot tell at all where this is. It's just simply a similar system to the one we saw up there, where it's just two inverted pistons that just pull the door aside and make it easy to get out. Unfortunately, you can't use the system to get in because any buttons you place underwater will just pop right off. Although there's certainly other kinds of activators you could probably use to get inside of this, but this is more of a secret exit, and it's extremely secret. Like, no one's going to find that. The next one I want to show you is one of my favorite ones because it's like so crazy looking. Basically, all I've got to do is run up here. You may have seen this one before, but all I have to do is run up here, leap into this lava pool, and then just plunge straight through, land right on top of this slime block, and gain access to my base very quickly. Now, the reason I like that one so much is because it's so silly looking just to jump into lava, because people are just gonna like see you just leap into a lava pool and somehow not die. And of course, the reason that this works, if you didn't already know, is that it's just lava suspended above signs with water on the bottom to extinguish you, and then just a drop down, and then there's just a slime block right down there. And of course, you can hold space so that you don't jump as high. And the only downside to this is that when you're running down this little hallway, it does actually slow you down right there. So it can be a good idea to sort of jump, sprint as you go down this tunnel so that you don't get stuck. But now that we're down in the base again, I'd like to show you another cool little secret entrance that actually adds something secret to the secret base. So if your enemies have somehow gotten down here, they shouldn't be able to get to your secret diamond storages, because some of you may notice it, I don't know, but basically if you just press, you can see here that there's no carpet here, so you can place a block. If you just place a block there, jump up here, shut the trapdoor, go into crawl mode, and then you can actually crawl through the painting on the wall. Now, of course, we've all seen those kinds of paintings that are like with the, that are 2 blocks tall, so you can just walk through. But now with crawling, of course, which was not introduced recently, that was a very long time ago, but still though, crawling is a very cool feature, and it also looks very silly. So what I have to do is crawl straight through here, and if we just crawl through this other painting, you can see we get into our little secret wool room, where I can just open it up and have access to my absolutely bonkers store of diamonds that I have. Now, there doesn't really need to be a painting on this side, but you can put one there if you want to, but basically it's just the same system to get back out again. And the way that you can place these is using these signs here, because paintings can be placed on the side of a block, even if it's not a whole block. But just as a note, you do have to sneak while you're placing it for some reason. That's just how it works. Also, of course, we need to block this off so that it makes it the correct shape. But yeah, for some reason, placing a sign like that placing a painting on a sign just doesn't work unless you're sneaking, which is kind of funny. But yeah, paintings are entities, not blocks, so you can walk straight through them and nothing happens. So I think that's a really cool one right there. Not an original idea, just one that I thought was really cool. So for our next secret entrance, then it's that little blob behind me right there. Now this is one that's very, it's actually pretty cool, and this could blend into your actual base as well, but for now, just put in these rock piles. These are not very well disguised secret entrances, and you would definitely not build them this way, but I thought I'd better just disguise it anyway, just to make it look a little better. But basically, behind here, we just have a shulker box, and it turns out that if you stand underneath a block, so there's a block right above your head, and there's a shulker box right below your feet, if you open the shulker box, you'll actually fall through the shulker box, straight into water down here into our secret base. So really, the reason this works is that, see how when you open a shulker box, it actually goes up. And if you look, the hitbox actually gets larger so that it pushes you up. But if you're underneath a full block, then instead you kind of get jammed into the shulker box and just drop straight through it. So it's actually a very cool secret entrance like this that you can just fall straight through into your secret base. So this next one here is using a composter, and thanks to Green on YouTube for this one, because it's very, very cool. But basically, all you have to do is, if you just hop into a composter, it's actually kind of difficult sometimes because of those annoying little edges that you can see there. But if you do manage to actually get down into it like this, then you can see it actually lets you stand down inside of it. And if you just push this button, you can see it pops it aside just in time for you to drop down into the little ender pearl stasis chamber. But basically, if you move a composter really quickly using a piston, then it will actually let you drop straight through it. Even if you're standing like inside the composter block, it'll actually drop you straight through. And this could easily blend into your base, but it's pretty simple. I mean, just as simple as that one is. In fact, it's very similar to the other piston circuit, but basically, I mean, it's just an inverted piston with redstone dust and a button. Very, very simple, and it just drops you straight through very easily. Now, you might not want to put this in a stone place. You might want to put it in a farm or something. But that's also another very cool one that works very well. So for the last two, I kind of ran out of room inside the base I built, so I had to build other little builds to use for my other demonstrations. So right here we have our nice little enchanting room set up. It's just a bunch of bookshelves and an enchanting table. Nothing special to see here, just a weird painting on the wall, and that's about it. Most people would just see this and leave, but actually all of our store of diamonds is held right inside of this room. In fact, it's not really in this room, but if we go look, we can actually go through this painting. Now, this secret activation device could be anything that you decide it could be, but this is one that I chose. So basically, there's a button back here, and if we just push the button, you can see the wall opens up, and a flush piston door basically opens the bookshelves, and we can see we got all of our diamonds right here. And then this button right here will open it up again, and this thing is so cool. I mean, look at that. I'm just going to remove this painting, but, I mean, look how satisfying that is. Thank you so much to Mumbo Jumbo for this idea, but, I mean, look at that. That is just so cool. But the redstone is ridiculously simple here. I mean, look, it's just redstone dust, 2 repeaters, a bunch more redstone dust, and a redstone torch to invert the button signal. And this one just runs around from the button that's inside our secret room right here. This is the tunnel, and you can see our enchanting room over there. But, I mean, it just runs the signal around and moves the bunch of pistons around. It does require 12 pistons, but, I mean, that's not too expensive, and it's just ridiculously cool. Like, this is so fun, and it's super simple, so you don't have any reason not to build this thing. So for my final design here, I've actually built sort of a secret woods one. So basically, if you were to walk through this woods, you probably wouldn't really notice anything strange. You know, it's just these giant trees and kind of dark place. You might want to leave kind of quickly because there might be mobs down there. But I've actually modified one of these trees slightly to fit a tube down the middle. So if we look here, you can see that piece of wood right there is kind of suspicious looking, and you can see there's another piece added on the side. I don't think anyone would really notice this in a forest, but basically if we go up to the top here, break these leaves, there's actually a trapdoor. You can jump right straight down into your secret little base here. Now, of course, this isn't possible from just straight vanilla trees because none of the vanilla trees are actually 3x3, which is what you would need to drop down the center. They're all, like these ones are 2x2, but just by adding these little bits, you can make a secret tree house where you can just drop straight down the shaft in the middle into the secret base. And so, well, technically there is an 11th one that I'd like to show you, and I mean, to be honest, it hardly counts as the 11th one, but I think I'd better show it just so that you remember that really you don't need all this stuff. I mean, really, what you can do is, I mean, you can just, like, do this if you really wanted to. Just, like, cover it up when you leave. Jump down. You can just cover it up again. Oh, well. Should probably add some torches down here. But, I mean, that works totally fine. Absolutely no redstone of any kind or anything fancy required, and it completely is hidden away. So that's actually a very, I mean, legitimate idea to have. So we'll call it 10.5 because it's so boring, but 10.5 doesn't sound as good as 10, so I'm still calling this video 10 secret entrances. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please whack that like button as hard as you can, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.